So I'm building a new PC with an AMD 5900X processor. It's going into a Corsair 4000D airflow case, 32 gigabytes memory, and I've got a Gen 4 Western Digital Black 850X, I think it is. Writes about 77,000 to 7,500 reads, I should say, not writes, reads per minute, or reads per whatever. So I started out with the Pure Loop 280 as an AIO cooler, and I could not stand it. I've had it in the machine about a week. It whines, it's terrible, as you saw in the video. So we're moving on, and I got this Arctic Freeze, Arctic Liquid Freezer 2. This is a revision 7. If anybody has read up about it, there are certain things you need to know. This is, they had a problem with the cold plate, a gasket on the bottom of the cold plate. Right here, they send you a kit, or you can send it back in. You take the screws out, you put a new gasket in, you put the new cold plate on, and it's supposed to solve a problem. They're kind of getting ahead of it, being retroactive, getting ahead of the problem rather than reacting to it, which says a lot for Arctic. It's a good move on their part. So if you have a QC passed on your box and on your machine and on your unit, that means that you have the proper cold plate and you have no issues with your machine. So with that being said, this entire unit is powered by one 4-pin connector. It is a PWM pump, and they are PWM fans. I think these are the P14 fans. This also has a special VRM pump. Steve at Gamers Nexus it's gimmicky, and it's not gimmicky. It does do a little bit, but is it really important of what it's doing? But it actually does reduce airflow around your VRMs, so it does work. You can watch his video all about it. So what my purpose of this video, screwed up all my stuff. It all looks so pretty, not anymore. So one of the things is, though, everything is controlled from this 4-pin connector. So there's the fans are controlled through there. You can see the wire goes into this is underneath this cable, is in this cable here. It goes into the pump. So everything is controlled off of this one 4-pin connector. I don't like that. I like to control my fans separately. So what I did is, this is just a redo here, but I've already taken this apart once. But basically, I take this off. There's a splitter. I've taken these. You have to take the screws out for the fan. I'm going to leave this in a push configuration. Just what I think is what I want to do. So take this one out. So now you have these two little fan leads, and I'm going to attach a Y adapter onto this. It's going to show up from Amazon hopefully in the next few minutes. It's supposed to be here in a little while, and put that on and attach it. So it's going to go in a fan splitter. It's going to go into one fan connector, 2 into a 1, and I'll plug that into a fan header, or the CPU fan header. Not sure where it's going to go yet. But take that screw out. So now I have this cable here, which I will not need anymore. This will just get tied off in the back of the case. It won't be doing anything. So that is gone. So I will be using these two, so you can see, these are two short little, they're only 40 millimeters long. They're very short. And those are going to control the fans. All right, so take these screws, we'll put them aside for a moment. All right, so we're going to put this right here for a minute, and we're going to talk about some other things. These are all the parts that I've messed up completely over here, but these are all the parts for installing on an AMD, for an AMD fit. You got your standoffs, your bushings to stand off from the motherboard. These are for attaching your fan. These are attaching the fan directly onto the brackets. I've already installed these brackets directly onto the fan already. Make sure when you do this, your cable is free and don't install it underneath. underneath the bracket, because that'll cause you some serious problems. Because you won't be it won't sit flush, and what else knows. Now I am going to be installing this in the offset method. There's two methods you can install it, where the cold plate fits directly over the processor, over the die, or you can offset it a little. I'm not sure which way it is, but you offset it a little bit, because they've determined that if you offset it a little bit, you get the center of the cold plate directly over the hottest part of the processor, and that improves thermal performance. And there's videos that people have done on that to show you that it does work. The other thing is, with this offset method, when they first designed it, the original bracket was kind of like, let me put this up a little bit so make sure it's in the video. The original bracket was kind of curved on the bottom. They've redesigned it, and you had problems getting it into certain motherboards, especially if there was an M.2 slot very close to the processor socket, and it wouldn't fit, or it was bumping into other things. What they did is they flattened it out. Now this piece of metal here is really, really thin, in my opinion, and hopefully it holds up. I'm not going to try and bend that, because it's going to bend, but it looks like it could bend very easily, whereas this one is a little thicker, and I can see how that would be a little better. Hopefully that stands the test of time and doesn't cause any problems. The other thing that they've done is, I've noticed in this kit, is from all the videos that I've seen, they were providing you with a MX4 thermal paste, was in a package. They've now put it MX5 into the box, and it comes in a little tube, a little easier to dispense than coming out of those little wet wipe type packages where you tear it off and you just kind of blob it out. So this is a little bit of a nice upgrade, in my opinion. I think that's it. So we're going to install this very shortly into the machine after we pull the pure loop out. That's it. Thanks. Bye.